The man simply touched the girl's cheek with his hand, and instantly, the girl actually turned into a statue. As it turned out, the man possessed magical gloves that could petrify anything in the world. Yet to satisfy his perverse hobby of collecting, the man had actually turned all the women in the entire town into statues. Until one day, when Sinbad and his companions passed through this town, they were instantly captivated by these statues in the town. Pleased to see how much they appreciated his work, the man then invited them to come to his castle for a tour. But just then, Sinbad noticed something odd about these statues. Because the surfaces of these statues were extremely smooth, one could even say there were absolutely no carving marks. Afraid that Sinbad would discover the truth about the statues, the man anxiously cut him off. At that moment, a scream suddenly came from a room at the far end. When Sinbad wanted to check it out, he was immediately refused by the man. This convinced Sinbad something was wrong with that room, so he waited until late at night to secretly sneak into the room, only to find a statue with a grotesque expression, and he recognized that this statue looked exactly like one of the man's servants. He then quickly told his companions about his discovery and asked them to find a way to keep the man distracted, so he would have time to uncover the truth. Soon, Sinbad discovered a hidden cave in the hills behind the castle, packed with countless statues. Even the long-missing mayor was among them. Realizing his companions would be in danger alone with the man, they rushed back toward the castle, but by then, his companion had already drunk water that had been drugged and lost consciousness. The man then put on his magical gloves. He merely touched the girl's cheek gently, and the girl was instantly petrified into a statue. However, by the time Sinbad returned to the castle, everything was already too late. But before he even had time to grieve, the man suddenly lunged at Sinbad from behind. Everything he touched actually turned to stone instantly. With no other option, Sinbad could only flee while dodging. Soon, he was cornered on the balcony by the man, just when Sinbad had nowhere left to escape. Fortunately, his companions also arrived in time. Then, while the man wasn't paying attention, Sinbad shoved him off the balcony, then quickly grabbed his hand and used the magical gloves to turn the man into a statue as well. As the man fell into the abyss below, the petrification curse was instantly lifted, and everyone the man had turned into statues finally went back to normal too.